In the middle of summer, we sat in the sun. I in my garden and my friend Alison. We sat on the grass and we talked, just us two. But the time passes slowly when you've nothing to do. So we got up and went for a walk in the wood, and Alison spotted it before I could. Way up in the tree with black and white streak was a great spotted woodpecker with a long pointed beak. The daddy was digging with bobbing red nape and Ma with a beak full of maggot-like shape. It said baby great spots look more like their dad. They have much the same colors, there's not much to add. And the great spotted chick, often easy to tell by its big wide red hat as it pops from the shell. Now sometimes, not often and rarely in fact, a chick is born different from the moment it's hatched. And this, as it happens, was one such a time, and the other chicks saw and were very unkind. They teased and they pecked it, and they made up a name, and they thought it was fun and they made it a game. Whitey, they called him. Whitey, they said. You're the strangest, most oddest pecker to fledge. Then at once, through a hole, there began to protrude this odd-looking creature that clamoured for food. So Alison said, "What an odd-looking sight! His eyes are pale red and his feathers all white. I've never seen anything that's anything like this feathery creature that's entirely white. His tail feathers shone with a silvery sheen, and his wing feathers whiter than I've ever seen. A long tapered beak like an ivory spear, and strange fiery eyes pink as a pig's ear." So the big hungry chick took a meal from its mother, who barely noticed its color, quite unlike its brother. In the wide world of birds' plumage is all they connect with their eyes, and not just their call. The daddy woodpecker has his little red cap that helps Ma locate her great spotted chap. But the white little woodpecker was as different, you see, as a bird from his parents could possibly be. It was soon very clear he was not only white, but the absence of color affected his sight. Your doctor will tell you all about melanin, the pigment that colors your hair and your skin. Melanin also helps eyes to develop, but Whitey had none, the poor little fella. A bird in the wild needs eyes to survive, to protect it from predators, to keep it alive. And not only that, to dig out the ants, a woodin needs peepers to see bugs at a glance. So displayed all in white, he stood out from the crowd, but to add to his problems, his sight was impaired. We watched for a while, then we went home for tea, but came back the next day, just Alison and me. I once had a pet, a black and white cat, that got his ear bitten off when caught in a scrap. I once saw a dog injured so bad he had only 3 legs, and that made me sad. But the white little woodpecker high in the tree was the bravest of all that I've ever seen. He hopped on the branches and fell a few times, but each time he fell back up he climbed. Though he didn't see much, he managed to dig, and somehow the bugs jumped into his beak. There are some things I see that make me quite cross when crow comes to Billy and magpie to scoff, when sparrowhawk hovers about to swoop down and tries to snatch Whitey with barely a sound. Each time they appear, he hides in a hole and waits till it's safe to go out for a stroll. Whitey has feelings, he knows what it's like to be scorned and rejected just 'cause he's white. Why am I so different? Am I worth less than you? Why can't I see the world just like you do? Whitey knew that he had to be strong to survive, to believe in himself to take pride. We watched Whitey work out and strengthen his wings. He lifted up weights and he went to the gym. He made his wings stronger as he flew round and round and learned to remember where to hide underground. He developed a talent for quick-witted thinking. This was his superpower, which he did without blinking. Although disadvantaged with physical limits, our mate with white feathers was not at all timid. He was plucky and bold, and he learned every trick about how to survive using only his wits. And now, when we see him, Alison or I, he gives a beak grin and a wink with his eye.